Hello everyone, happy Thursday, and it is time for your daily dose of math. Like we do every episode, we're going to begin by looking at some math in the wild. Some math you may see online, in the news, if you turn on your TV. It's everywhere, and we're going to break it down. Today we're going to look at this chart, which I saw online today. It's a chart of the number of people who have filed for unemployment. So the people who have applied to the government to say that they are out of work. And the first thing I noticed about this chart was that it started in 2004. And the unemployment was just in between 0 and 0.5 million, so about 250,000. And you can see it goes up sometimes, it goes down. If you zoom in really close on that line, you can see little spikes where it goes up and down and up and down and up and down, up and down, and it usually stays the same. And then right in around 2008, it starts slowly climbing until it reaches this peak here. And you can see on the graph, that part is labeled in gray, and it is labeled as the recession. This was a time in 2008 where the economy was not doing great and unemployment was at a new high. If you take a look at that line, that point is the highest point on that line. The highest point on that line. The line never gets higher. Nowhere on that graph does it get higher than that point on March 28th. And the number that day, as you can see on the graph, was 665,000 people who had applied for unemployment. If you follow along from that point on our graph, you'll notice that by 2010 it had gone down a little bit. By 2012 it had gone down a little bit more. And again, there are little spikes. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up. But generally it is trending downwards. It is trending downwards. But on this whole graph, you'll notice the unemployment always changes very slowly. So even back here, when it starts going quickly, it's rising quickly, but nothing like what we're going to see at the end of this graph. Every change is gradual. There are little spikes, but big change takes a long time. By 2008, it was pretty low compared to, by 2018, it's pretty low compared to 2008. We're doing well. Things are going down, down, down. And then we get to 2020. This is where it was at the beginning of 2020. I'm going to put a dot on that graph. At the beginning of 2020. Here. That's where we begin. Right there. And you can see the date of March 21st. I'm going to draw a line connecting that date, the beginning of 2020, to where we are now. Here, all the way straight up. It is a straight shot up. And the number now that we are looking at is 3,283,000. So this graph is incredible because it really tells you how unprecedented this number of unemployment applications are. Remember, before this, all the way back to 2004, unemployment was always in this area of the graph. It's always down here. There was nothing living up here in the graph. Nowhere even close until we jump all the way up to here, almost overnight. Jump all the way up. And that is a result of all the social distancing we are doing. That's why we're not in school. But we are lucky enough that we can be able to communicate online and we are still able to go to class in some way. So I feel very lucky in that way because there are 3 million people who no longer have a job. And I feel very lucky because I still get to do my job every day. But this data is crazy. Some word puzzles for you called rebus puzzles. We said yesterday that these puzzles were words where you had to pay attention to not only the letters, but also the shape of the letters, the size of the letters, and the placement of the letters. So we said this first one, it is the word economy that gets larger. That's for the phrase growing economy. Pretty much the opposite of what we just looked at in the graph before. Economy. I don't know how to spell that word. Economy. Yep, that's right. Okay. Now this one, the one to the right, I see the words you're full of, and those words are below the word knee. If you say that quickly, you see you're full of below knee. You're full of baloney. That one's terrible. I love it. Okay. And then this alphabet one, I did not get at all. I just didn't get it. I had to look it up. I'll be honest with you. If you zoom in real close, it's like, oh, there's the alphabet. But then if you look really closely, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U. What? What? If you saw that, you would notice that this alphabet is missing U. So this is missing U is what this puzzle stands for. Missing U. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. This one is a little bit easier for me to notice. I got this one. It's the word right, and it is in between the letter I's. So right between the I's. So we have a growing economy. We have you're full of baloney. We have missing you. And we have right between the eyes. I hope you like these as much as I do, or at least I hope you get as frustrated as I do when you finally hear the answer to these and you're like, of course that's what it is. The puzzle of the day today has very simple rules, but you need a very creative solution. But there is no trick here. It is not a trick question. It is possible, you just need to get creative. And the question is, how can you divide a pizza pie into 8 identical slices in only 3 straight cuts? All the slices must be identical. And the pizza is a circular pizza, just like the one on the screen. Normally, when you would cut a pizza into 8 slices, when you go to a regular pizzeria, they slice it first down the middle, like that. Then they slice it across the middle, like this, across the diameter. Then they slice it a third time, like this. And then they slice it a 4th time, like this. Of course, they do a better job than I did of making sure the slices are equal. But this is 8 equivalent slices. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But it took me 4 slices. How can you do the same, but with only 3 straight cuts? Let me know the answer in the comments. Some positivity practice for you today. We're going to go pretty simple today. This is an adorable giraffe. Take a look at the giraffe. If you're stressed out, just look at it. Look at this giraffe. Look at his floppy legs. Look at his big grin. He's so silly. How could you be sad? Just look at him. Look at his ears. Okay. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.